So, the Boondocks, one of probably the funniest shows to ever exist in the 2010s area. And honestly, it was probably one of the most beloved shows of any genre in the 2010s era. It was completely one of a kind. Nothing was like it at all. I mean, seriously, you got celebrities cameoing in the episodes. There was even an episode about the whole R. Kelly trial before all this stuff really came out. And the Boondocks was the first one to jump on it. I believe it's the first episode ever is whenever they're making fun of the R. Kelly stuff. And it's hilarious. And that's also the main reason why the show will probably never, exist in 2022. Or even in the 2020s in general. And that's because it's a different audience. And it would probably never survive. Simple as that. I mean, the show had this energy about it. Funny joke, funny kid characters, funny old people as well. The characters in this show make the show. Riley and Huey are also pop culture icons. And honestly, the show has an impact on many, many generations. It's anime-esque art style, but it's witty jokes aimed towards all races and all cultures. I mean, the show pulled no punches, and that's what made it special. But with me talking about the Boondocks like this, what happened to it? Well, let's just say society happened. November 6, 2005 was the day that the Boondocks was premiered to the world. And not gonna lie, the show broke barriers. Created by Aaron McGruder, made to make fun of black people, it was witty, it was edgy, and it was hilarious. It premiered on Adult Swim late at night, Cartoon Network's more adult side. Adult Swim is actually a big inspiration of the design of this channel. And it was a show made by a black man to make fun of black people in really all cultures. And really just how stupid we all are. The show is not meant to be taken seriously, however. And that might be one of the reasons why it won't exist ever again. I mean, the show joked about FEMA, Martin Luther King, R. Kelly, whatever you could think would be offensive, it joked about it. The characters themselves is what really made the Boondocks hilarious. Huey, Riley, Tom, the black guy with a nice job, wears a business suit. He's the definition of what people would call I can't really say that, but you know what I'm trying to say. With that being said, the show was funny because not only did it take issues about black people and stereotypes about black people and turn them all into jokes, but they turned them to the extreme. Uncle Ruckus is the greatest example of this. Absolute menace. Bro, my boy out here really said that he had reverse vitiligo. Uncle Ruckus is the most racist black person ever towards other black people. His explanation as to why he doesn't consider himself black.
That's right. You heard of vitiligo? Shoot, well I got re-vitiligo. Every year my skin just seemed to get blacker and darker and blacker and then more darker. It's the opposite of what Michael Jackson got.
It's the opposite of what Michael Jackson's got, apparently. With that being said, the show also joked about celebrities and everything going on in the world, similar to South Park, which I'll get to eventually. So, with that being said, the show pulled no punches. However, this was like 2005 and nobody really cared about the stuff. This was prime television, in my opinion. Everything was to be joked about. Nothing was taken the wrong way. I wish it was still like that. The show appealed to literally everyone and their mother, especially young children sometimes. Simply because of the fact that it's a show made by black people, but it's relatable to all people. Anyone can watch the Boondocks and laugh at it. You can laugh at the jokes about black people and you can laugh at the jokes about white people. It doesn't matter. Because in the end, the show plays everything off as a joke. And yet, it seems like we're living in an era where people cannot take jokes anymore. Case in point, I get it. I'm not gonna mention the Will Smith thing, because it's obvious, but he did run up and slap a man on stage because of a joke. A comedian, Chris Rock. We all know Chris Rock. Regardless of which. What made the show funny, aside from the outrageous characters and touchy subject matter, would have to be the celebrity cameos. This show specifically really made me realize just how funny Cat Williams is. What also made the show funny would be the timeless memes that would spawn from it. I mean, these memes are still usable to this day because of the relatable situations. For example, if you're ever trying to instigate something, you use this.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
Or if you see somebody getting beat up or something extreme happening, like I seen one time on the news that an elephant apparently killed somebody and then stomped in their grave later, use this.
Man! What did he do to make them niggas that mad?
That's why the Boondocks still has an amazing legacy today, because of the fact that it did not care. And really, that's how comedy is supposed to be. You shouldn't care. I mean, seriously, people need to get over themselves and stop being mad over everything. Many celebrity cameos, including the likes of Usher, Cat Williams, who's actually one of the technically main characters in the show, Samuel L. Jackson. If you can think of them, they were probably in the Boondocks as a character. Cat Williams played a character named the Pimp Named Slickback, which, yes, you have to say the full name, a pimp named Slickback.
My name is a pimp named Slickback, and I believe I may have misplaced some merchandise at this residence.
And what made him hilarious is the fact that it's just Cat Williams basically being himself. It's also one of the main reasons why the Boondocks was actually funny, because actual comedians were making the jokes. Moments of the show I'd really love to highlight would include whenever Tom apparently encountered Usher at a restaurant, and the whole episode was him being conflicted because he felt like Usher was trying to take his wife. And I kid you not, while being in his feelings about his wife getting taken by Usher, he starts singing Let It Burn. You're singing the song of the guy that just took your girl. Or at least he thinks just took his girl. Even his daughter likes Usher more than him. Yeah, Tom's played off as a joke most of the time. Another highlight of the show would probably have to be whenever Martin Luther King decides to just go off on all of society, when apparently he just reappears in modern times. I forgot exactly how it happened, but ooh boy, he was not playing.
Will you ignorant niggas please shut the hell up?
Or even the all-time classic, the nigga moment. This was one of the most relatable jokes in this entire show. As a black person, I know that sometimes my people can have really random moments of ignorance. And the show, of course, makes fun of it. It's a scenario where, and this happens in real life, this is a joke, but it's also true. They start getting mad for absolutely no reason. It's completely a misunderstanding. The whole point is that it was a pointless altercation, and eventually it ends with both of them getting shot by the police. Tough joke, but it's also, once again, reality. And why this show was able to do pretty much whatever it wanted is because all the jokes had some truth to it. Simple as that. However, while the Boondocks was probably one of the most enjoyable shows to ever have come out in the 2010s, and really just the early 2000s, the show had some problems behind the scenes. The main problem that really kind of halted it was just the studios behind it. In 2014, the Boondocks was canceled due to cultural sensitivities, quote unquote. With such an arbitrary reason to cancel the series, fans were pretty mad. With more research, it is actually revealed that the writing style of Aaron McGruder apparently just rubbed the higher ups the wrong way. And so the show would eventually be canceled in 2014. And this is why it's unfortunate but true that the Boondocks would not exist in 2022. And I feel bad for Aaron McGruder because of what eventually would happen to the Boondocks, his lovely creation. Because this show still will age beautifully due to great animation, great music, and jokes that are timeless. Absolutely timeless. And while there was definitely rumors that the Boondocks would someday come back, you know, just one day will just come back and everybody be like, oh my god, the Boondocks is back. It's never coming back. Not with John Witherspoon sadly having passed away, along with other problems behind the scenes. God bless his soul, John Witherspoon, you know, the voice of Granddad on the show. He was definitely the heart and soul of this show. However, if you still want to watch the Boondocks, you can watch them on HBO Max right now, honestly, if you have a subscription. If not, start a free trial, watch the Boondocks. I promise you, doesn't matter what age, what race, none of that. You will love this show. And honestly, this is just a continued pattern, continued cycle of people being way too sensitive. And I hope that one day I would be able to show someone else the Boondocks and they'd be able to enjoy it the same way that everyone in the world that actually used to watch it enjoyed it. The main thing is I don't want this show to die out ever. And with this legacy and how it is, it probably never will. With that being said though, if you like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you next time. Evian out.